Alright guys, before we get into the video, let's talk about futtrading.co.uk. Every single method you see in my videos can be found over on the website with buying and selling prices for almost every single card on the game. £10 a month gets you access to tier 1 buying prices. That's icons, special cards, silvers and Thursday flips. For £15 a month, you get access to tier 2. That gives you live filters, gold chem styles, UCL cards, and our amazing area of fluctuations where the market is continually monitored for highs and lows. You guys are then notified when to buy low and buy and sell high, basically. A really easy way to make coins. We've recently introduced a tier 3 thanks to you guys asking for us to develop a bot. Basically, we came up with a program and what it does is it pings you every single minute pretty much. I think it's every 3 minutes. You will get pings telling you when cards are low and what to sell those cards for. I'm going to show you an example of that now. I'll be right back. Alright guys, and this is the area of the Discord for tier 3 users. As you can see, it is pinging you guys with the current price of these cards and the live target sell price. You have to cross-reference that with what the sell price has been recently and use some of your own market knowledge, but this runs 24 hours a day to make sure you guys are getting continual deals that you can keep making coins from. The legitimate way, a new ping's just come up right there for new cards that you can go out right now, buy and sell. So check it out, get involved, futtrading.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below and make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. This is another episode of Trading into R9 Moments. Basically, I'm not going to lie to you, I've not been able to trade much on this account the last 24 hours because I've been grinding out the RTG ready for Weekend League. But once we sell everything we've got, all the investments in the club, we're well over 5 million. We've got a lot to sell, and a lot has sold here. So we started selling off all our silver investments, like selling lead centre backs for 10,000 coins, for example. But we've got a long way to go in terms of getting those sorted out. So that'll be done over the next few days to clear out the club, but we will be trading quite heavily over the weekend, as much as I can be with the Road to Glory in mind. But don't forget, the Road to Glory does go live every morning. It's an earlier start, I think, at the moment, at 7:45. Make sure you check it out. In the first week on that account, we've made about 1.4, 1.5 million coins. Ground it out as hard as we can. And we're in Foot Champs at the moment, sitting 8 and 4. It's a good team, but when I compare it to teams that I'm playing against, it ain't that good, if that makes sense. It's poor compared to some of the levels of teams you get at the moment. So 8 and 4 there is very, very good. So make sure you check it out. But this video is all about icon swaps and what you can be doing today, tomorrow, and leading up to icon swaps in terms of making coins. Icon swaps has probably been one of the most profitable ways to make coins on the game this year. It's continually boomed. We've had very similar features throughout icon swaps. So EA are quite predictable as a company, and you can generally tend to make coins from them just by predicting what they're going to do based upon what we've had so far. First thing to talk about, and the obvious thing to talk about of icon swaps, is icons themselves. Right now this weekend, icons are high. They're very, very high. So if you look at, for example, someone like Socrates, my little brother paid 300k for him earlier today, and one just sold a minute ago for 350. He just sold it for 350. He's up at 372 at the moment. This card was selling for 280 24 hours ago. Like, it's ridiculous how much the icons are boomed. Now, a lot of the Brazilian icons are boomed because they're linked to Romarinho. A lot of people are using that card. A lot of the English icons are boomed because they're linked into the Premier League players. And a lot of Spanish icons are boomed because they're linked into La Liga. But end of Weekend League, all these icons that have been used are going to be sold off in mass. It's going to be ridiculous. It always is quite a hefty drop. But end of Weekend League, a lot of these cards are going to drop heavy, 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 because everyone's going to be listing them up. Add to that, icon swaps panic, and there's going to be a massive opportunity for icon buys in and around Sunday evening into Monday. Massive, massive opportunity there. And the reason for that is as everyone sells off, as the supply comes down, anyone that's holding an icon that potentially gets an icon swap, or they think, oh, I'm not worried about this, they'll also add to that. So let's say theoretically, at the end of the Weekend League, Socrates comes down to 300k where he's been normally, right? If you add an extra 4, 5, 6 Socrates to that, suddenly goes 280, 270, and the drop-off is hefty. However, these cards always, always, always bounce back. Icons are so hardy to market conditions. They will drop over time, but they're very, very hardy and very, very strong into market conditions. And so if you've got a higher tier budget, icons are definitely a play for you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be looking at them on my account, on this account. We're going to be playing about with them. So I'm going to show you some videos in the video of the cards we bought and what we're selling them for, and show you fluctuations on them, so you've got a rough idea of what to be doing. Outside of that, the big thing about icon swaps is, in terms of trading, is the requirements to get the tokens themselves. So last time around we got with X amount of games in Rivals, I think it was with first owner players from La Liga, and then score X amount of finesses. So the first owner ones, we don't really care about those. they're irrelevant. If we get first order ones, no one cares about those as a whole, because everyone's got first order players in their club and they just play whatever they can. It's not that deep. What we care about are the ones that aren't first owner. So first icon swaps, we had a silver objective, then we had a CSL objective, an Eredivisie objective, I think it was. And what that means is the price of silvers tends to rise, but those leagues specifically, the Eredivisie and the CSL, went absolutely crazy. Cards that were 200 coins were selling for 4,000 or 5,000 coins. It was absolutely ridiculous. And so we've had Eredivisie, we've had CSL. Last time round we had Brazilian and we had Argentinian. They're the ones we had last time. The silvers themselves, you can punt. I would personally, if I were you, I would punt on some of the minor leagues. Not because you're guaranteed to make coins, but right now, let's say for example, I don't know, Pro League. It's not going to be the Pro League, I don't think, but let's just say. The Pro League, you've got a relative security on, because these cards themselves are needed for the League SBC, okay? So you can pick up all these cards basically and list them up for profit in the long term, or break even, so long as you're buying them under what they sold for. So if I buy this Miyoshi, for example, and I relist him now, I guarantee I'll get this Miyoshi sold for 550, for example, because he's still an undercut. You can buy a lot of these cards en masse, okay? And if we get silver supply tonight, even better to buy into. You can buy a lot of these cards en masse and then wait for the icon swaps to come out, and then they climb. They climb very quickly, they make massive profit. I'm watching the starting game in the background and we just missed a sitter. How you beat Mr. Smith, an absolute sitter. Shock. But you can wait basically for icon swaps to come out and you can sell them. If they don't get that requirement in icon swaps, it's fine. They'll still sell anyway because of League SBC. They'll sell anyway, either way. However, if you don't want to risk it, all you've got to do is wait for those requirements to come out for icon swaps. I go, okay, cool. So what have I got here? Okay, so silver's as a requirement, and this time it's English and French. Okay, so silver, English, French. The reason why they boom is you can usually do 2 objectives in one. So you can usually do the silver and England in one objective. And then last time round, we also got UCL. And so what that meant was UCL Argentinians and Brazilians also spiked in value very, very quickly. And that was a heavy spike. It was 8, 9k on some cards. Now the UCLs are important here because UCLs at the moment are high. They're pretty damn high in terms of where they should be. Reason for that is there's a lot of hype around La Liga Santander. And if you look at UCLs, the cheapest UCL in the Premier League right now is 2,500 coins. Because people are doing League SBC, they're doing the UCL SBC, and so they're high. They're very, very high. Tonight, we're going to get mass supply of these cards because there's going to be lightning rounds, promo packs, all that sort of stuff. Buy these cards. You know that with demand right now, they're at 2,500. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to stay at 2,500 in the time it takes for it to come up and the hype of this to die down. Again, another chance, son. But it does mean you've got a rough estimate of roughly where these cards are at. And so tonight, if they get low enough... Oh, we've got another chance, son. If they get low enough, buy into them. So for me, for Premier League here, I'll be looking at sort of 1,400, 1,500 coins. Bids as well, really, really good on them. Now, if you get lucky, if you hold these cards and you get lucky and it is English, or if it is French, or it is Argentinian, and you've picked up those cards, you'll make 4, 5, 6 times your coin if you get them cheap enough. Genuinely. But I would avoid goalkeepers. Goalkeepers don't tend to do very well with those sort of objectives. But outfield players from the major leagues are the best play you can do. I'd avoid minor leagues, without a doubt. I'd avoid minor leagues because there's no real reason, in my opinion, as Weymouth got on the other end. Sorry. And League 1 up. Bloody hell, we're lucky. I'd avoid minor leagues because they're lower rated and it's harder to get those sold for League SBC. You can sell them, but they're harder to, so major leagues are important. However, tonight, another massive play for tonight for you guys is these cards. Libertadores and the Sudamericana. So, right now, their SBC is gone. It's not in the game, unless it's come back, which I don't think it has. I'll have a look to make sure. Those League SBCs are gone. And we've seen it happen. Every single time a League SBC disappears, without fail, the cards from that League SBC plummet in price. You know, people's back. They plummet in price. It happened with the Premier League, happened with La Liga Santander. The reason why they're such good buys, the Libertadores and the Sudamericana, is because in the long term, you have to use these cards. There's no debate about, oh, I might not need them for silvers, or I might not need them for golds, or whatever it is. These cards will bounce back because you have to use these cards. It doesn't matter which cards you use. You have to use silvers for it. You have to use whatever it is. And they're all exactly of the same usefulness and value for that SBC. So it doesn't matter if you've got one from the Argentinian League and one from, I don't know, what would you can go with here? I don't know. The Ecuadorian League, for example. It makes no difference. They all link to each other. Last time round, we bought into these and you guys, some of you panic sold and sold too quickly and you screwed yourselves over. Because 2 or 3 days later, these cards were at 3,000, 4,000 coins as people did that League SBC. Now, if that League SBC comes back with the boosted sort of rewards we've seen in a lot of the other League SBCs, like the 81 plus times 7 and whatnot, there will be hype about that. So buying outfield players from Libertadores with supply tonight is always a play. Ideally, it's important that you do this. You want to be sticking to the silver ratings and the bronze ratings. You don't really want anything other than silver ratings or bronze ratings because the goals don't sell for as much. But even right here now, this centre-back for 250 coins. This centre-back in about 2 weeks' time when that's out will be 2,000 coins minimum. And it's a really easy way to go make coins. Go and buy one of each card, put a few in transfer pile, just leave them there for when the League SBC comes out. For the Sudamericana, it's a little bit different. Avoid the bronze ratings, so anything 64 rating below, and go for silver and golds. They're more rare, more expensive, and harder to get hold of. But you can get loads of these tonight with supply from promo packs, lightning rounds, all that sort of stuff. The market's going to drop again tonight and climb up. The TOTS cards themselves, they're lower than I thought they were going to be. I personally wouldn't touch these TOTS cards in terms of buying in tonight. The only thing that does benefit you from tonight is there's demand for them on the market because of Weekend League and people doing Weekend League. For the next sort of, 24 hours? But I would not touch these cards tonight. Although you've got an idea what the price they're at, a lot of supply came with these last night. This Kunde card, in my opinion, I don't understand how this card is 180k because it's a ridiculous card. But with the supply comes tonight, the only time I touch these cards if they were 20%, 30% down. My opinion, the buying on these cards is going to be something in and around the end of Weekend League, purely for the icon swaps objectives and people linking stuff up and trying to get them done easy if they possibly can. And the lack of supply then should see them. They basically dropped off Sunday night into Monday with Weekend League sell-off and Div Rivals, Squad Battle Rewards. They dropped off quite heavily and then they bounced back into Monday. Held quite steady. This is the Premier League TOTS. Held quite steady before then dropping into Wednesday, Thursday and bounce like mad as they always do. But there you play for tonight, in my opinion, from high budget to low budget. Keep an eye out for that. But icon swaps is coming, so make sure you get involved. But that's going to be in the video. If you are new around here, as always, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.